Willkommen to our cooking show. And I am here with my good friends, Bernot. Hi, Cy. How you doing?
Hello.
And I know Lola's there.
Wunderbar!
Wunderbar! It is wunderbar.
I'm wunderbar. How are you doing, Linda?
Good, good. It's been a rough couple of weeks. Rough for you guys.
4 weeks? I'm almost at the month mark. I think this may be the month mark.
Really? Your head hasn't exploded? You look great.
Oh, yeah. I think this is the month mark.
I'm considering just giving the house to Clint and Jerry and just going somewhere.
Well, wait. Your hotels aren't open, are they?
I know. That's the problem.
Oh, well, you'll just have to buy another house.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I don't even know if realty places are open. We don't even have keys. It's a keyless entry, so I'm just ready to say, just here, have it. I'm out of here. I'm done.
Well, among all the stress, I guess we just had to add some more to our own. So the challenge for this week was to produce something Thai and German.
And or.
I did a fusion because you said the word fusion, Sai, and I thought it was a great idea. But I don't know how to say anything in Thai. I'm so sorry.
You can't ask your son?
No, he doesn't speak Thai either. He spent some time there in Thailand, but he doesn't know how to
He didn't pick up anything?
It's been a while, and I think he's forgotten.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's a pretty unique language. I know my friend who's from Italy, his wife is Thai, and it's so strange to see the two of them talk because he speaks a little bit of Thai and she speaks a lot of Italian.
Oh.
So a lot of times, it's this Asian girl going, mi amore. It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have to thank my friend Michael Burke on MeWe because he came up with the title, well, I believe for my specific dish, but it actually does flow for Thai German fusion, if I can get this right. Spätburgundersoße.
So is that like a wine sauce? Burgundy?
Yeah, Burgundy, because I'm using a Pinot Noir in my dish. It literally means sauced dish, and because we're very good entertainment, it fits.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of alcohol. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep. And speaking of alcohol.
Ooh.
Wait.
Oh, okay.
What's Cy making?
Yeah, what's Cy making?
Yeah.
Cy's gonna go with the ultimate German
Wiener Schnitzel.
Invention. It's not their invention.
Wiener Schnitzel. Pretzel.
I'm gonna make beer. No, I'm not.
You got me all excited.
We'd be here for like 8 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how the YouTubers do it where they do the grain to glass videos. That's got to take so long to produce.
Lots of editing.
But I did go ahead. I shot some B-roll a couple of days ago. I tried to get my technique down, and pretty much got it down. And we're going to go with pretzels. Make the dough. We're going to start off with a simple recipe. I'm doubling this recipe, so don't mind the disparagement in numbers. Single dough recipe is 280 grams of flour. I'm going to double that. That would be 560 grams. So to get it as close as we can get it. $560. So that we're going to salt, 4.5 grams. This will be 9 because I'm doubling it. We're going to add some sugar, 30 grams, 60 because we're doubling it. And yeast, 4 grams, 8 grams doubled. We're going to add 100 grams of water, 200 grams doubled. So let's tear that. ASMR. Okay. And to that we're going to add 50 grams of milk, or 100 grams doubled. So that'll bring us up to 300. And we're going to add 20 grams of butter, 40 grams doubled. Yeah, close enough. The milk and the butter, this is just a standard bread recipe or a pizza dough recipe for the most part. A little bit more hydration. The milk and the butter are going to make the dough a little more softer, a little more bread-like. Let's double check, make sure we got everything. Okay, and then we're just going to integrate this. This is pretty much a no-knead recipe. So once you get it formed into a ball, we're just going to let it sit for 12 to 18 hours on the countertop. That long rest fermentation period is going to develop all the gluten we need. And within a matter of 3/4 of a day, we'll have pretzels. A nice shaggy dough going. This is one of those recipes, you know, not a lot of work. And we've got nothing but time on our hands anyway, so we can let that just sit in the corner. Keep it in a kind of a warm place, 70 degrees or so. You get down too low and it's really not going to ferment well. And like I said, we want that to do the work of kneading for us. So that's come together pretty good. We're just going to go in with our hand. Integrate the rest of that flour. You can use AP flour or bread flour for this. I'm using bread flour. AP flour is going to give you a little more of a kind of a cakey texture. But after that long rest, it'll develop enough gluten that not a big difference between the two. Bread flour is going to give you a little more crisp on the outside. Okay, we're pretty much there. We got a clean bowl. We're just going to give it a little bit of oil. And let it rest. And we'll come back tomorrow and revisit this. It should more than double, almost triple in size. This will give you a nice buttery sweet pretzel. Can't wait. Our dough's been sitting for about 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 hours. It's already poofed and somewhat deflated. I did steal some last night. But this is what this long fermentation gets you. So if you look at the underside of the dough, you see all that? Look at all that lovely gluten. It's nice stringy bits. So we're just going to get this out of here. And you'll see this dough is like really easy to work with. That's the butter. Makes it so it's not so sticky. No flour. Nothing really needed here. And we're just going to press out some of the air and get this out onto the table and start forming our pretzels. So let's see, what's this guy weigh? I'm left with 720 grams. We want to get about 6 more pretzels out of this. So we're just going to divide it. Right about there. A double batch should make about 8 pretzels, single batch 4. Depends on how big you like your pretzels. I'm kind of a fan of about a 4-ounce pretzel. I might just get 4 out of this. That's a 6-ounce pretzel, so yeah, we get 6. So we'll go take a little off of each one. Okay, 6 pretzels. And the way we're going to do these, make a little ball, flatten it out. And then we're just going to roll it. Get a nice seam. Start in the middle and work your way out. And we're going to actually let this dough ball rest a little bit. You see how it's squeezing in on itself? we want to let that gluten relax again. So we'll just set this aside, let it rest for about 15 minutes, and then we'll come back. Okay, we're back. It's been about 20 minutes. I started rolling some of these out. They are still shrinking up on me. If you go with all-purpose flour, you can have less of a problem with this. But if you do run into this, you just let them rest. Go as far as you can go with something, you know, get it stretched out, and then just let it set. Also, a little slap will help elongate and hold that gluten in place. Basically, what you want is a string of about 24 inches. We got that and then some. So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple pretzels just to get them off of here. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. Let's see if I can, this one might be too thin. There's the lasso method where you can't see my hands. Let's work with this one. There's the lasso method where you take your right hand and just give it a little swirl and drop it just as it twists. So, okay, I got extra one in there, but that's okay. Open that up a little bit, flip that in. I got some pretty long dangling handles there. Let's try that again. Yeah, this one takes a little getting used to. Okay. And then there's the kitty method, which works good for all ages. Up, around, over, hold this up, around, under, over, and then you just kind of form it up. Pretzel. I like a Silpat mat for this, so I'm going to go ahead and rest this guy on the mat. Let's see if we can just pick him up, put him down. And I'll go ahead and do the rest of those, and then we'll move on to the next step. We've got some pretzels formed. They look good. If you throw them in the oven, they'll be almost pretzels. They'll be more like bread. But we want that nice pretzel texture, flavor, and outside, that nice dark brown outside. So the trick we're going to use is we're going to give these a little bath in a very caustic solution. A lot of commercial pretzels are used in a lye bath. Lye can be kind of dangerous to use. If you feel comfortable working around it, sure, go ahead. If you have it around, sure, use it. I'll be using baking soda that I've baked for 1 hour at 250. What that does is it converts the baking soda bicarbonate into sodium bicarbonate into sodium carbonate, or sodium carbide. Chemistry fail. Basically, it raises the pH up a few more points. So it goes from like a pH of 8 to a pH of 11. Lye is around a pH of 14, which is like the most basic you can get, the most caustic. Very dangerous stuff. Everybody has baking soda, so that's the method I went with. You basically want about 60 grams of baking soda that's been baked to about 1 liter of hot water. Now, a lot of places will tell you you need to boil the water and boil these. You don't have to do that. What we're after here is just getting the proteins to coagulate a little bit, that gluten on the outside of the pretzel. And also we want to gelatinize the starches. That's what gives you that nice smooth texture. Plus, the caustic solution will give you that nice pretzel bitter that you get on the crust. So I've got some water that is plenty hot, was boiling. And I can just bring that around here. And to that, I'm going to add the rest of my baking soda. And we're just going to... Now, you want to be careful with this stuff. This is like a very, very strong soap. It will slough off your skin and give you a nasty little chemical burn. Not like lye will, but you definitely want to be careful with this stuff. Oh, and that's another thing. Baking sheets. If you're going to make pretzels, get a proper baking sheet. Don't use aluminum. Aluminum and caustic solutions, no bueno. Another reason I like the silicone. Silicone is similar to glass, and it's impervious by most nasty chemicals. And we're just going to make sure that this gets mixed up fairly good. This doesn't have to be perfect. And what we're looking for is about 30 to 60 seconds in this bath per pretzel. I'm just going to do them one at a time. Just going to give them a little bath, give them a flip. If I can flip them, you'll note that your pretzels at this stage are very soft. So they deform quite easily. And we're just going to lift that guy off and drop it in. And just don't worry about it. It'll be fine. It may look a little deformed, a little strange. Once we get it out of there, it'll be just fine. And this one's fully submerged, so I don't have to flip it. We're just going to give it, like I said, about 30 seconds to a minute. And that's going to make that outside lovely and shiny and nice and brown when it comes out of the oven. You do want to make sure you drip dry these a little bit before you put them on the mat. You'll also notice that the color changes a little bit. That's what you want to see. And I think we're just going to call that. That one's kind of starting to float. So we're just going to pull it out. Ooh, easy. And I warned you about sticking your hands in that. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of these. And I'll be back. We've got all our pretzels dipped. When the pretzels come out and they're still shiny, you're going to want to hit them with a little bit of salt, preferably kosher salt, pretzel salt, or flake salt. I have flake salt. That's what I used. Again, this can go straight down your drain. It's basically drain cleaner at this point. So don't be afraid to dump it down your drain. Just be careful about getting it on your skin. If you do get it on your skin, it's no big deal. Wash it off immediately. You'll be fine. We're just going to go make a complete safe pot here. And here's one tray of our finished or nearly finished pretzels. These are going to go into an oven, 425 degrees, for about 12 minutes. You might want to go a little longer. Every oven's different. You might need to go a little longer to get more color on them. Basically, these are going to look like your Aunt Annie's pretzels. So not quite as dark as you would get from the cinema or, your favorite pretzel stand, but also darker than bread. So I'm probably going to leave these go a little longer. I like that nice crusty outside. So I'm going to pop these in the oven and we'll be back. These are ready to come out of the oven. And I ended up going 420 for 15 minutes, and then I kicked it up an additional. I kicked it up to 450 and went an additional 5 minutes to get a little more color on them. When these come out of the oven, you're going to want to slather them with butter, just to give them that lovely sheen. Now, These are not going to look like your traditional, as I said, Bavarian pretzels. They're considerably less brown, but they have very similar flavor. It's noticeable, but it's not too far off the mark. I'm just going to butter these up really good because these go real good with butter. These smell so amazing and so good. I've already started another batch of dough that I'll be using during the live show. And I'm going to have to go find some beer because what goes better with pretzels than beer? Nothing. And there you go. There are your pretzels.
Neat.
And we've got the B, and we got the G.
Oh, that's perfect. BGE
And with the BG, we got our beer, and that's homebrew.
Perfect. I love
And
that.
as the saying goes, thirsty days hath September, April, June, and November. All the rest are thirsty too, except for he who hath homebrew.
I'm taking a screenshot. We need to make that our little logo for a little bit.
That's awesome. Well, what's in the glass?
It's my Resnikov Red, named after the character on Orange is the New Black, Red. And it's made with primarily Red X, some Carafoam, and oats. Lots of oats. It's got a nice body to it, and it's got a nice malty character to it. Some of the hops have dropped out. When you guys were out here the beginning of March, I know you guys tried it. It's changed quite a bit, as you can see. It's no longer cloudy and sad looking. It actually looks like beer. So this just tells me I just need to be more
cloudy
patient.
with a chance of beer. Cloudy with a chance of beer.
Yeah, I'm just amazed at how well that cleared up. And I just left it alone in the keg. I stopped playing with it. And, a month later, it's ready to drink.
Tape. Title of your tape.
It grew up. It grew up to be a beer.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Good for it. Yay.
And the malt character is really forward on it now. I mean, it came into its own. I thought it didn't have enough bittering to begin with, but now I think it's actually balanced. I'm just impressed at how much that changed.
Excellent. Well, we went down to our favorite Bayway market, and I found both a German beer and a Thai beer. So I found Eyinger, dark Bavarian. That's a German beer. I love Eyinger's beers. And Chang from Thailand.
Ooh, I haven't had Chang.
I've never seen that before.
I'm a big fan of, I think it's Tiger beer. I think that's from Thailand.
Yeah,
maybe that's from Taiwan.
From Thailand too. I don't think I've had Tiger. I think we had Chang once at one of the Thai places here.
The Tiger reminds me a lot of the Schrader Brau. It's just a very non-offensive brew. I mean, there's not a lot to be said for it. It has plenty of flavor to it, and there's just nothing wrong with it. It's a nice, great little 4.5% lager that you can just crush.
Yeah,
everyday beer.
Yeah, everyday beer. But that's how I think about a lot of. Okay, that's how I think about all of the Thai beers I've tried so far.
Yeah,
you can just drink them.
Yeah, it's a warm, humid place, and when you want a cold beer, you just want a cold beer that just goes down like Kool-Aid.
Yes.
And you can drink them even if you're having a heavy meal. Like if you're going to a Thai restaurant and you're like, I want a big pot of noodles. That's going to be filling. So you want a light beer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Number 7.
I'm gonna pour this because we always have to feed the producer.
Yep.
And it pours a nice. it says dark Bavarian, but it's almost a dark caramel.
Reddish.
It's almost a red.
2 scoops of raisins in that.
Wow, it smells like it's got raisins. It's gorgeous.
He's got his scoops and his
Oh,
raisins.
that's nice.
You just need to get some bran in him.
Oh God, no bran in the kitchen, please.
Y'all want to see what beer? Oh, you haven't poured yet.
And
Okay.
I poured, but I didn't sip.
Oh, you haven't sipped it yet. Okay.
I prefer to pour mine a little hard.
Ooh.
Here's this on the desk. I like to pour mine hard because I like head.
Title of your tape. So many titles of tapes already.
Yeah.
I apologize to the parents.
We already knew that, Linda. That's not news. Breaking news.
I love Bavarian beers because you can also taste the hops in with all that caramel, raisins, malts, everything else. You can still taste hops.
I want that with sized pretzels. I want those two together now.
Me too. I want size pretzels too, which is why I found yeast yesterday.
Oh, good for you. In the store, I hope, not just like in a corner in the bathroom or something.
No, I did not dig between my toes.
Okay, I'm just making sure because you never know. It's good to be specific. I mean, you actually purchased this. It wasn't, found.
Yeah.
I mean, I know times are tough.
Tell us about yours, Lola.
This, I don't think I've ever had this. I was in the grocery store, and Cigar City is a really nice brewery in Florida, and I love Goses. So there is no Dana only Gose. This is Margarita Gose.
Oh, so
That's interesting.
It
He's
should be
got the salt.
what, salty, limey.
Oh wow! Is it good?
I don't know. I haven't opened it yet, and I didn't get a glass because I was going to drink it out of the can. Goses, I like to drink straight out of the can because I want them as cold as they can be. I probably should have gotten a glass, but oh well. Oh, it smells salty.
My mouth is watering just looking at you sniffing the can.
Very Gose-y. Oh, definitely salt. It's definitely got the salt. That's it's more salt than anything else, I think. I feel like I should have this with saltines. Lots of salt.
Or pretzels?
Or pretzels, yeah.
Maybe, but really saltines, huh?
And I put all the ingredients for the dough. I've already pre-made the dough because it has a 12 to 18 hour ferment period. It's a no-knead dough. So if you're inclined to make this, you just basically throw everything together, get it into a dough ball, and just let it sit on your counter for half a day. And then, but if you are inclined to make these, I'm going to warn you right now, they're a bit addictive. This is my third batch of pretzels now.
Oh, carbs. Ooh.
Yeah, carb overload.
Oh, yeah.
But really, I mean, right, what we brought right now is carb overload because we need comfort food.
We do.
I've started wearing my face mask indoors, just not so much to keep people from getting coronavirus or passing coronavirus, but to keep me from eating.
That makes sense.
I
thought it'd be to keep yourself from choking on all the flour in the air.
Yeah,
that's a good point too.
There should be a sign on my refrigerator door that says, "You're not hungry, you're just bored."
I know. Yeah, same here. That's one of the things about working from home. I mean, I've been really good, I think, knock on wood, I have been, but like I'm on the phone working and I'm like strolling into the kitchen and I'm like, what's up? Let's see what's in the refrigerator. So it's like, it's so easy.
Well, I've already gone through all of these.
I recognize the box. Is that the cream puffs?
Yes, Belgian mini cream puff.
Those should be illegal.
I got these on the first.
They're so good. Those are so, and you know what? I love them frozen. They're so good frozen, but they're even better when you warm them up.
And this is actually going to make a great gardening container.
That's why you bought it.
Okay, so I am making it's a noodle dish, but it has a lot of German overtones to it. So the actual dish itself will be stir fried with the noodles and the vegetables. But I'm also creating a German red wine reduction sauce with mushrooms and onions. The most complicated part about my dish is the sauce, because people think of reductions as being so complicated and so hard. It's really not.
Oh, and Lola?
Yeah.
I just looked in my fridge, and that's what I found.
What?
Yeast.
Oh, so you gave some to Linda?
Yeah, actually,
nice.
you've got some of this. This is the quack. I think that's how you say it, quack strain.
Oh, no.
It's from Norway. And it ferments very, very actively and happily at like above room temperature. So you can get a 5-gallon batch of beer fermented in about 3 days.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the flakes that we picked up.
Be careful. It looks like you're trying to make some kind of exchange that's not legal. Like, this is what I got. How much money you got? This is goods.
I need some yeast, man.
Come on, give me my fix. Come on, it's been 4 weeks since I've been outside.
I'll trade you some hop oil.
Come on, I'll give you anything you need. I can get you a pretzel. You want a pretzel?
I've been running that same strain of yeast since sometime last year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I tried doing a sourdough starter, and I'm telling you, it did not go well.
Well, oh yeah, that's another thing. You brought that up, and yes, I know there are a lot of people having trouble getting yeast, but there's an easy little trick you can do, and it's called a poolish. So in bread making, you've got a couple different methods of preparing a dough. You've got just the regular way where you toss everything together at the same time. You've got a poolish, and you've got a biga. A biga is which way does the biga go? I know what a poolish is. I have to think about the biga.
I don't know what either of them are.
I don't know.
A biga is 50% hydration, I think. So you take 100 grams of flour and 50% water and your yeast, and you mix that up, and you just set that aside until you're ready to cook with it. And then once you make your bread, you subtract out those ingredients, right? You don't add your yeast, you don't add 100 grams of flour, and you leave out 50 grams of water. And then once you make your dough, you pull off a little like walnut sized piece of it, and then you just add in the appropriate amount of yeast and water again to make another biga. So you're basically taking a little bit of yeast off of one and transferring it into like your mother or your levain or whatever you want to call it in sourdough terms. A poolish is kind of the same thing but the opposite. And actually the dough I made is actually kind of a poolish. It's 100% hydration. So like if I was planning on making more pretzel, and I'm not, I have to stay away from the pretzels now. If I were planning on making more pretzels and I didn't want to use yeast, I didn't want to use up any yeast that I have around, I could just pull off a little piece of dough, set it aside, make my pretzels as I normally would, and then take that
use that as the mother.
Exactly.
And just add more to it and feed it.
And you only need like a walnut sized piece of dough, just like, yay big. That's all it needs, and that's enough to get you going the next day or
Nice.
2 days later, and it'll keep in your fridge for probably weeks.
Excellent. I have my oil here. It's set just below medium, and I just took a couple slices of rings of onion. I don't want a whole lot of onion. I want more mushrooms than onion in the sauce. So I'll just stick that in the oil with all the mushrooms. I'm going to cook that until the mushrooms cook down. Then after that, I will add the garlic, and I have a half a bouillon cube here. The wine I'm using is an Oregon Pinot Noir from Brandebourg Vineyards. And I already marinated the chicken in this. This is one of the most luscious Pinot Noir I've ever tried.
Cool.
It's heaven. It is absolute heaven.
I like Pinot Noirs. I don't like Pinot Grigio. I'm not a big one for white wines. I like red wines.
Yeah, red wine really reminds me of a lot of German cooking. How about you, Si? What like is the biggest part of like German cooking and Thai cooking for you? Is it flavors?
I'm not real big on the Thai cooking. I'll be honest with you. I do like the spicy side of the house, and a lot of dishes are both spicy and spicy and have that umami to it. So spicy umami. For German, it's just straight up. Stick to your ribs kind of cooking. It's like English food with flavor.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know that Thai cooking does use a lot of chilies, but I don't have access to the very small Thai chilies. And I didn't want to use serranos because serranos just taste like regular black pepper to me. So I chose Anaheim's.
Anaheim's a good choice, yeah.
I roasted them to get that bit of char off them. And I'm going to cut them into little bite-sized pieces to toss in the stir fry. Yeah, I associate noodles and chilies with Thai cooking.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
How about you, Lola? What are your favorite dishes in there, Lola?
Well, Thai food, oh my God. We haven't had Thai food in a long time, but I love it so much. I love anything with coconut cream. The red curry, I think, is my favorite. And coconut soup. Yes, I love it. I will get me some coconut soup. I used to work at a Thai restaurant. In the 90s, I was the hostess. I'd never had Thai food before. Oh my goodness, I loved it so much. And they made Thai tea. Everyone in the restaurant drank so much Thai tea that they had to have a meeting telling us we couldn't drink Thai tea anymore.
What's the difference between like Thai tea and like our regular black tea? Is there?
Well, they explained it that it's an overnight process. It took the owner like a full day to make Thai tea. I don't know what all went in it, but it was like a special process.
Oh, wow.
And it's different spices, I think.
I bet there's like cardamom in it.
It's got milk in it too.
And milk.
Really good. I can drink me some Thai tea. It just goes so fast. I mean, one like, and it's gone, and I'm like, I want more. And it's not cheap. I mean, yeah, even when we worked at the restaurant, we still paid. We got 50% off.
And it's more flavorful than what you would consider to be tea. I think that's part of the process is they just get like a lot of tea to water ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of chai tea, maybe.
With vanilla and like cinnamon?
I don't know if it's cinnamon, but it's something spicy. There are spices in there. I'm just not sure what.
I love chai tea.
So good. I know.
Well, I've got my water boiling, and I'm using rice noodles. Mm-hmm. And I know these cook pretty quick. Mm-hmm. And they also clump up pretty easily.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay attention to those, and the second they're done, I'm going to drain them, rinse them, and make sure I get a little bit of olive oil onto them so they don't stick together.
And I'm going to go ahead and start forming my pretzels. So here's the dough I made.
Okay,
And
cool.
this is the cool thing about the no knead process is you just basically make it come together in a dough ball, cover it up, let it set, and it forms its own gluten. The action of the yeast in there will form gluten in there and get you that chewiness that you're accustomed to with your bread and things like that.
About how long did it take to incorporate all the ingredients?
Like maybe 5 minutes. It's a really quick recipe, and it makes a wonderful dough. This is actually one of the better doughs I've ever had to work with. It's got milk and it's got butter in it, and I think the milk and the butter just make the dough. It's a sticky dough, but it's not. It doesn't really stick. It feels sticky, but it's not sticky. And I'm just gonna press out the air and get this weighed out and figure out how I'm gonna portion it.
And oddly enough, these mushrooms cook down a little faster than I thought they would. They're just starting to release their juice, so I'm gonna put the bouillon and the red wine in right now.
Cool.
About
Yum.
a half a cup of each, and then I'll let it simmer and cook down.
So it's makes a little bit more than a pound. So I'm just gonna go ahead and whack off 4 of those, and we're gonna call it 4 pretzels. That's about what it makes when you make normal pretzels. I'm gonna go for just like a twist today. So
no fancy lettering.
No fancy lettering. I'm just gonna roll this out into some ropes and give them a little twist. And then this is something that I've run into because I'm actually using bread flour because we actually have a glut of bread flour now, and we're low on AP flour. You won't run into this if you use AP flour, but you'll notice you roll it out and it shrinks back up, and that's
AP flour, of course, is all purpose.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, AP News, Associated Press, they have their own flour. Okay.
But that's the gluten in it, and really all you can do here is just you kind of get them into the shape that you kind of gonna want them in.
Sigh. I didn't know you had a side gig catering bachelorette parties.
Yeah, well,
I would totally work for that.
But you just basically got to let them set for a little bit. Let that gluten relax each time you work the dough because it's going to want to squish back in on itself.
I forgot to say. So does so the all-purpose flour, is that going to be more stretchy?
Less.
Less.
AP flour has lower protein content, and gluten is a protein.
Okay. This might be something I could make for the next potluck. Doesn't sound too complicated. Not that we're going to be at work anytime soon. Huh?
But still, yeah, pretzels are always a good thing. Everybody likes pretzels.
Everybody loves pretzels. And the one lone gluten-free person can order their own dang pretzels. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Well, the worst part about this is the forming. I mean, that's the real time-consuming step to this. Everything else is fairly easy.
I'm not good at forming things. I always make them wonky shaped anytime I try to do something.
You know what? That's the other thing, though, too. Here, you can chicken out on that.
Okay.
What did I do with my?
I'm all about cheating when it comes to stuff like this.
Yeah, you can make sticks too.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Like breadsticks.
Yeah. Ooh, pretzel sticks. That would be good. What's the difference between pretzel and bread? I don't even know like what makes pretzel a pretzel.
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
There is a trick to make them turn from bread to pretzels, because right now if you cook it up, it's going to come out a lot like bread.
Okay. I love pretzels.
I'm already smelling mushrooms and wine.
Yum.
That smells good.
Yum.
I'm gonna cut up my food. Get rid of some of this extra stuff.
I've completely lost my dough portioner.
Oh no!
I have no idea where it could have gone. Oh, it went in the bowl. There it is.
Oh, mystery solved.
Yeah. So yeah,
it was where it was supposed to be.
You could totally just roll out your little rope. Let me get a couple of these out of my way here.
Uh-oh. I see an empty glass being returned to me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, more beer.
Oh my goodness.
And you kind of want these on a surface that they'll kind of stick to, but you don't want too much sticktivity. So I'm just going to give this a little lubrosity.
Lubrosity.
You put some lube on it.
Both for the dough and the cook.
So would you ever go visit Thailand, Lola?
Oh, I'm not much of a traveler. I might. I just, I think if I went anywhere, I'll go back to Europe after all this is over.
So you've been there.
When I was 15, our French class took a trip. I begged my parents, and we didn't have a lot of money, but they managed it. It was $2,000. We're talking 35 years ago. It's a lot of money. But yeah, we went to England first. We stayed in Piccadilly Circus in London. And that was the first time I'd ever seen a hotel that didn't have individual bathrooms in the rooms. And I had an incident trying to get to the bathroom in time. We won't talk too much about that. And then we went to, I forgot the name of the town, but it's the port where you get on a boat to go over to France. And we went all around France. Went to Versailles, went to Mont Saint Michel.
So beautiful.
It was opulent. We were in the castle. We were on the garden grounds. It was beautiful. I mean, it was amazing. I've got pictures somewhere. I think a lot of my pictures got lost, but I know I've got some. We went all around France and then to Paris. I was not happy because there was one place I wanted to go. There's a museum. I've already forgotten the name of it, but it was very postmodern. I mean, even now it would probably be considered postmodern. And I wanted to go there. It was the last thing on the itinerary. And I told them I wanted to go.
Real quick.
Yeah.
This is what the noodles look like just after they come out of the hot water.
Okay. Is there a particular name for those noodles?
They're rice noodles. They're made out of rice.
I like rice noodles.
And
yeah, I like pad thai
you don't
too.
Put some olive oil on them. They become very gluey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because they're kind of thin, right?
They're already starting to stick together.
Yeah, there's so many kinds of rice noodles too. Like I always just assumed you had rice noodles. That was the kind of noodle that they like all pasta come in all shapes, sizes.
And oddly enough, I do put oil on them, and then I put them back in water so they don't stick together.
All right, that makes sense.
I know it's heresy, but I do it. I like to do it that way.
I mean, it's better than a big gloppy thing of noodles that you can't pull apart anymore. We went to the Louvre.
To the Louvre?
The Louvre. We went
Not
to
the
the
Louvre. Not the Louvre.
I'm sure I went to the Louvre several times. We went to the Louvre. And where else did we go? Arc de Triomphe was under construction at the time, but we went up and down the Champs-Élysées.
That's a river, right?
That is the road, the big road. That goes through Paris. It's a big road.
I'm not allowed in the Louvre.
What happened?
You know, I went in there and the Mona Lisa, she kept smiling at me.
And you called HR for sexual harassment? She keeps smiling at me. I told her no. No means no, Mona Lisa. I remember I was very tired. Was it Mont Saint Michel that had 90 steps? I think it was Mont Saint Michel. And I was 15 years old, but I've never been particularly healthy. I've always had like chronic fatigue syndrome. And I remember trying to get up those stairs and I was like, oh, can I just wait here? I think I did eventually make it to the top. I was like, where's the elevator? How did all those monks do this every day?
There was beer at the top.
There was beer at the top.
Another true story that was my first alcohol was on the plane because it was international waters. They let us have champagne. And so I had champagne, 15 years old. I felt so naughty. I'm like, I'm drinking champagne. And I remember I had my little Swatch watch. I loved my Swatch watch.
Did you tell your mother you got to drink champagne?
Next to the no, 100% no. Even when she was living here just a year and a half ago, she was in a wheelchair, so I pretty much controlled where she went. But I made sure she stayed away from where my alcohol was because I didn't want to hear it. Lola, I just, our family has problems with that, and I worry about you. Shut up, Mama. Give me my beer. Give me my beer, woman.
I can see Lola putting the speed bumps out to keep her mom out of her beer stash.
No, there's a step to go up into the kitchen. No, Mama, we're not going in the kitchen. And it's kind of narrow anyways. Mama, I'll go get that for you. What do you need? I'll go get it. Don't worry.
So I've got 1 clove of garlic crushed and then chopped. And
I love garlic.
The mushrooms are fairly cooked down, so
Okay.
it's simmering nicely. And I'll just add the garlic to that and let it keep on simmering.
I think I might have mentioned it last show or maybe the first show, but we found fried garlic.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh my God,
you
it's so
mentioned
good.
that.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's my new favorite. Matter of fact, that'd be great on a pretzel, for God's
I
sake.
bet it would.
Good. And definitely this sauce already reminds me of beef bourguignon.
Oh, I like beef bourguignon. I like that.
That's exactly the aroma and the flavor I was going for.
Okay.
Does your beef get assimilated when you make that? Beef bourg?
Does my beef get what?
Assimilated.
Star Trek. Beef bourg.
Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile because you cannot resist my beef.
Good. It's too good. I know. Sorry, you can't resist it. Not even Picard. He turns into what, Lucius or whatever his name is.
The cutest.
Lucius. Luscious.
Luscious.
Luscious Picard. I
I'm sure there are many women out there that would agree with that statement.
Luscious Picard. Luckish Luke. Luscious Luke.
Luscious Luke Picard.
Luke.
I am luscious of Borg.
I'm luscious of Borg, baby.
Okay, we have officially turned this from a cooking show into porn.
That's because I'm here. Man, chicken bow.
He could have gone with Lush from Borg and just sold bath bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Beer bath bombs.
Oh, that would be neat.
I am the Lush.
Mm-hmm.
I am the Lush who knocks.
I know I am.
I originally considered actually deep frying the chicken.
Okay.
But it seemed too much German and not enough Thai.
Yeah, you need a balance. Mm-hmm.
I almost went with schnitzel, but schnitzel is literally so easy to make.
It is.
It's like a 2-minute recipe. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cheating. And I've been wanting to do pretzels for a long time.
When I was
I'm sad that I know how to make them because they're really.
No, you can't have them.
You're having too many of them.
How many times do you guys do that? Like you find a recipe that's really awesome and you just make it every day of the week until you're sick of it.
Yeah, no. Well, luckily I only cook once a year, so no, maybe twice a month is probably when I cook. So, but I love the scones I made. It took me several tries, but I think I finally got my scones good. I haven't made them in a while though. They're hard to make. It takes a long time for me.
Oh, that is already tasting delicious.
So we ended up with 8.
I recommend everybody taste constantly.
Okay.
Taste. Oh God, that wine is good.
Our grocery store has had a lot of wine on sale. I suspect maybe a restaurant or something sold it to them because it's all brands I've never seen at Publix before. But like last time I got this really good port for $4 a bottle. And and this time I got a red blend for $5. I haven't tried it yet. But yeah, it's all stuff I haven't seen at Publix before. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. I'm holed up for the next month or so. Let's do this. Come on.
Have you been following the Alton Brown Quarantine Kitchen?
Just the first episode. I want to go back and watch them.
They did breakfast the other day. It was pretty good.
I haven't seen the breakfast one. I saw the one before that.
He does breakfast, and then while doing breakfast, because Science Channel was having a marathon of Good Eats episodes.
Oh.
You sat with him and his wife in front of the TV watching Good Eats episodes, and him commenting about, oh yeah, that was a terrible shot. And it was so great. It was so great.
That is hilarious. It's like MST3K, but with him and his wife.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who's that guy in that show? Who is the host? Oh, that's me. Okay.
I really wish I hadn't done that now.
Hindsight is 2020, Alton Brown.
That was so embarrassing, but it was our best show ever.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you have probably 100 or more shows, you're going to get some odd ones in there.
So Lola, you asked, what makes pretzels different?
Okay.
What makes pretzels different is they are. I have to find a utensil here.
They're boiled?
They're marinated in a caustic solution, typically lye, which is used in drain cleaners.
I would have never thought that.
I actually don't have any lye in the house. I don't know why, but you can use baking powder, or excuse me.
I think I'd rather use baking soda. I'm more comfortable with baking soda.
So lye has a pH of 14, which is as high as the scale goes. Baking soda has a pH of 8, and you can take your baking soda, put it in the oven for about an hour on 250, and that will drive off CO2 from the bicarbonate.
All right, I'm going to stop you right there. Liability check. Take it out of the box first, right?
Yes. Spread it on a pan.
Liability check, just in case someone takes you verbatim. Okay, you can continue.
And that drives off the CO2 and leaves you with a weak form of lye. I still don't know. It's sodium carbonate? I'm not sure. But the pH on it is 11. So you turn it up to 11. It's still not quite 14, but it gets you most of the way there. Like a $4 bottle of wine, it gets you there.
It's good enough for government work.
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to do is you want to heat up some water, and you want the water above 140 degrees. It doesn't have to be boiling. A lot of tutorials will show them boiling the thing. You don't have to boil this. And I think it's actually a little easier to work with if it's not, all bubbling and popping everywhere. And then just dissolve in your baking soda solution.
You got to wonder who thought to do this first.
And you've got to kind of wonder. It's a liter of water and about 60 grams of baking soda. Okay. And you just want to kind of mix that around till it's dissolved well. And then the pretzels are just going to take a little bath in there. And what that's going to do is the heat from the water is going to gelatinize some of the starches on the outside, give it that nice shiny color. The caustic nature of the solution is going to interact with some of those surface proteins and allow them to brown more readily in the oven. That's how you get that dark color.
Neat.
And also, pretzels have that very distinctive pretzel-like flavor, right? That comes from that outside coating of the lye. I
was wondering what that coating was. Yeah,
it gives them a little bitter taste. And even if you're using lye, if you use lye, you're going to want to wear gloves for this because you get lye on your skin, it's going to burn you. This is
PSA. You can't use baking soda. Do not use drain cleaner.
No.
Please don't.
Very good point. You do not want your pretzels tasting like Drano.
No.
That should go without saying, but people die doing stuff like that.
No, if you're going to get lye, get food grade lye. I have some on order at Amazon, but it's just not here yet, and that's why I'm using the baking soda. So.
Okay.
You can go to places like bakeries to get that too.
And we're just
would not. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We're just going to pop these guys in here for, like maybe 30 seconds, a minute, somewhere between 30 seconds and a minute. You don't want to go too long because if you go too long, they soak up a lot of water and they just kind of get funky weird.
And not the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, dead air.
Well, I was gonna say, there's a place here that caters to restaurants. It's a store, and I forget what they call it, but it's always restaurants only. Well, they have opened it up to the public. I want to go, but I don't know. I doubt Clint would be interested, and I really, there's really no reason for me to go. But it's just the thought that there's some place that I was previously not allowed to go, and I can go now. That's what makes me want to go.
I've had that ever since I was a kid. Any place I wanted to go and couldn't go, the second they opened it up, I wanted to go.
You did want to go? Yeah, it's like you didn't want to go before, but then...
there were always places where I wanted to get into. So the second they opened it up, I was there, whether I needed it or not.
Yeah, just want to go.
Curiosity, what's in there?
It's like the Magic Castle in LA. I'm not allowed, but I want to go. I don't know magic. I can't be part of it though. I can't go to their secret meetings or anything. I could go to a show probably, right?
You have to be invited. No, even to go to a show, you have to be invited.
Even to go to a show, you have to be invited?
Yep, and there's a dress code, and they enforce it.
Like a nice dress code? Like fancy?
Yeah, no, yeah. If you're a man, you got to wear the suit and the tie and all that. All that
anything nice. I don't
nonsense.
Like that. Wow. Okay. I want to go. I'm
just nice enough.
I know. I mean, dressing nice to me is like interview clothes. That's as nice as my clothes get. But yeah, the restaurant place is open to the public. They got not only, like produce and stuff, but like the big restaurant pots and,
You should totally go.
I want to go.
Yeah, totally go. Because it's an experience seeing something you don't actually use.
Right. Something that I really, it's not something that I need, but it's just interesting. It's like, this is where all the restaurateurs go to get their stuff.
Do you have Costco where you're at, Lola? Or is it
Sam's
there?
Yeah, we got all that. We got BJ's. We got everything.
Yeah. So the Costco's here. They have the normal Costco, which is the consumer grade Costco, but they also have a restaurant supply Costco.
Oh, we don't have that here.
Oh, I got to stay out of that place. $100 pieces of meat.
I can imagine.
We're not talking small piece of meat. We're talking like almost a whole primal.
Stuff that you would need like a freezer, like the restaurant freezers.
Yeah.
Walk-in freezers.
Yeah, that's like a food service warehouse here. And
Yeah,
we use food service warehouse.
Yeah.
We just have to, when we get the meat, we have to, package it up.
You got to deal with it. Yeah, that's all the work is in that first day. That's my last trip to Costco. We came back with I don't know, a lot of meat, and I spent the entire day just prepping and vacuum sealing individual meals.
I don't do the vacuum sealing anymore because my unit broke and I didn't bother to get another one. I just use these.
Okay, Tupperware type thing.
I pack them 2, 3 in there, and I just close it up and then freeze it.
Okay. Do you have a separate freezer?
If you don't use it within 3 months, it does get a little freezer burnt, but it's still usable.
Oh.
And Lola, I'm just going to leave one of them that I don't put the lye on or the baking soda on, and we'll see what that looks like when it comes out of the oven compared to the other one.
Good idea.
Make sure you remember which one it is.
It should be pretty evident.
Okay.
Yeah, everything can be a learning experience. So they look a little puffy because the yeast is probably taking a hold with all that warm water and everything. Here's the one that I didn't do anything to, and they kind of look a little bit like I don't know, the Elephant Man or something. They're shaping and that's kind of scary for some people. But when these get in the oven, they're going to plump up, and those little wrinkles and stuff are going to come right out of them.
So
go ahead.
The oven actually causes them to form the bubbles.
Well, it's got yeast in it, so it's like any bread. It's going to have some oven spring. It's going to poof out, and that's going to take up the wrinkles that are in them right now.
That's good.
I did my first couple ones with flaked salt, so I know what the flaked salt experience is on a pretzel, and I kind of like it. But I wanted to try something different, and I have this Hawaiian black salt.
Interesting.
When I bought it, I thought it was smoked salt, but it's not. It's just salt that's black.
It's like volcano. Look, is it like volcano salt or something?
No, what they do is they treat it with activated carbon, so it looks black. Like when you crack it, it's white on the inside, black on the outside. So it's really just a visual thing. Not like the smoked salt is. Smoked salt actually has a bit of a flavor to it. And then I got some kosher salt. So I'm just going to go with a little black salt on some, a little kosher salt on some, and might even do a salt and pepper version. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Oddly enough, kosher salt is the most commonly used salt in the United States. Not even
know that.
Salt.
That's crazy.
Kosher salt is the one most used.
That's interesting.
That's crazy to me because up until maybe it was probably Good Eats. So like the early 2000s, I don't think I ever used kosher salt for anything.
Yeah, it does seem weird, doesn't it?
It does.
I think people started thinking about the texture of their salt. And table salt really doesn't have texture.
No, it doesn't. It's all flavor. So we're just gonna.
Okay, the sound of that salt actually sounds really good. What's that? They called it IEMRS?
ASMR.
ASMR. Very ASMR. move my sauce over because I need to start getting this ring ready for the stir fry. And this is where the proportions come in. I'm silly because I did not actually leave a bowl. That's the one thing about stir fries. Always have everything ready you want to put in the pan because you're not going to have enough time to go and search for things.
Oh no, not at all. Yeah, everything's got to be prepped, cut, ready to go.
So I've got leeks. Actually, all of them. Yeah, I do.
No, yeah, sadly, that guy needs a little.
All the chilies.
I'll have to pat that on there.
Beans, oddly enough, are both Thai and a German food. Beans are used in both Thai and German cooking. I like the small ones best.
I think beans might be one of those universal foods that basically exists within every culture's cuisine.
South America, Central America, North America.
Well, except for like Alaska.
They might not.
Yeah, because you can't grow beans in Alaska, I suppose. Well, no, you could in the summer.
They might import.
But in the really high regions, all they eat is fish. And
that makes sense.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to keep the beans to a reasonable level.
All right, I'm going to go park these guys in the oven.
Yum, yum, yum.
I'm going to go with a 440-degree oven because 450 seemed too hot and 425 didn't seem hot enough. So we're going to try.
And that's just right.
We hope so. So I'm going to park it in there for about 12 minutes, and then I'll check on it. Maybe give it a spin in the oven after 6 or so minutes.
Yeah. So when I made fish a week ago, and I goofed up. I got the time mixed up with the time I put pork chops in the oven. The time I put pork chops in the oven, I think, is like 16 minutes. And so by the time I went to get the fish, they had curled up on the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, bummers.
I like to poach my fish.
Okay. I don't know what
Turns
that
out
means.
nice almost every single time.
Okay.
Now I'm going to put nuts in this, but it's really dependent on everybody's individual taste, whether they like the whole nut or whether they like chopped nuts.
Okay.
Most of the Thai food I've had, it's just been sprinkled over the top. But I love nuts all through my stir fry.
Okay. Yeah, I like nuts.
I'm
Yeah.
going to keep mine whole, maybe a couple of handfuls.
Okay.
I use cashews, but peanuts, cashews, anything hard and meaty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember when I used to eat like pad thai, I think that had nuts in it.
Yeah, peanuts.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Okay. And I'm going to, of course, want something to dip my pretzel in. That's what she said. So I'm going to make a peanut sauce as well.
Look
Of
at
sorts.
you. That would be very good. I love peanut sauce. Oh, that's another thing I love from Thai restaurants is peanut sauce.
Yeah.
Mm.
Delicious.
Well, I don't actually have a recipe for the peanut sauce I'm making. It's a dipping sauce, and I believe dipping sauces should be just kind of tailored to what you're dipping in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna go by taste.
Are you just gonna melt some peanut butter?
Well, we're gonna start off with some peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. We're gonna go. I don't know. That's probably plenty. Some smooth peanut butter.
Okay.
This is where it's real hard though. I have to not lick the spoon.
I know. I love peanut butter. I can't
Okay.
eat peanut butter that much though.
Your kitchen.
True.
It's your kitchen. Lick the spoon all you
Suppose
want.
you wash the spoon. Now, if you put the spoon back in there and your family's going to eat it, that's disgusting.
And we're just gonna add a little bit of soy sauce.
That's okay. I would not have thought that.
I probably, if I had them, I would probably gone with coconut aminos, but I don't have those. So
Okay.
my loss. Maybe just a smidge more. No, that's not even a smidge.
You couldn't use coconut cream.
That is something I would have to fight my wife for, and I'm not willing to do that.
No, don't do that.
Because a lot of Filipino food uses coconut cream, coconut milk. Yeah, and I'm just not going to fight her for that.
Don't mess with her culture.
I've got some chipotle chili pepper. I love this stuff. And a little dab will do you on this stuff. It's got a nice smoky, slightly spicy flavor. It's kind of like chili powder, but smoky. And I really think that's going to play nice with the peanuts.
Okay.
And then I've also got some honey sriracha seasoning. Sriracha. Need I say more?
Yep.
Well, that one's not even open. Look at that. What are we doing?
Now I have a freshly cleaned stir fry pan here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub the whole inside with oil and put it on the heat and let it sit for just about a minute or so. And then I'm going to wipe it off again. This is going to help the food not stick to the pan. It's not seasoning the pan. It's just making it a little more nonstick.
Yeah.
It's already starting to smoke. You can see the smoke. So I'll just take it off and wipe it down.
Yeah, that's usually enough to give you enough of a film, enough of a nonstick film that'll get you by. I'm going to add a little bit of honey to this because we want
sweet,
umami, spicy. Oh man, that's the one thing I don't have. Oh yeah, I do have. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it.
There we go. And I'm not going to cook the stir fry just yet. I'm going to start it on my other beer.
All right. Well, what I'm missing is some maybe some lime juice. I have some lime juice in the freezer somewhere, but I don't see it. So we're gonna proceed as though we had lime juice and see what happens.
It looks very thick.
Yeah, it is. It's not at all where it needs to be yet. This is just to get us to a point where we can taste it and see where we're at. See if we need more heat, if we need more sweet.
Cane beer smells like a very, very typical lager. Very strong lager aroma. Very pale, clear yellow. This head's going to go away almost immediately.
That's what she said.
It smells really good. I'm going to fill in my homebrew glass.
Oh yeah, and I've moved on to my alternate beer.
Okay.
This is St. Archer. It's kind of like my go-to West Coast style IPA.
Neat.
$9 a 6-pack.
Okay.
And my sauce is really cooked down now. I'm going to put a little more wine in this.
Okay.
Now that I have the good concentrated salty garlic. I love layering sauces when I reduce them. Yeah, lovely good wine aroma with that. And I'm going to stick it on low and just let it sit.
Okay.
How's that St. Archer?
St. Archer's good. It's like I said, it's a vanilla West Coast IPA. Not a whole lot to think there. It's clearly got a bunch of the sea hops in it. and almost no malt backbone to it whatsoever. Just nice, nice, clean drinking hoppy beer. Notes of pith and pine resin. It's not a real complex beer. It's just it's a drinker.
Yeah,
Okay.
neither is this Chang. I mean, it tastes like a really just drinkable lager.
Yeah.
I think that is going away a lot less than I thought it would.
Yeah, they do tend to drink down quickly, even on a not hot day.
Both the Bavarian and the Thai beer were only 5%.
Oh, that's 5%. Yeah. My homebrew, I think, is in the 8 range,
Mm-hmm.
and the St. Archer, I think, is 7% even.
I'll just do a quick.
Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna have to thin this out a little bit. So,
It does look really thick.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very thick.
Oh no. Oh. Here.
And it's missing something, but I'm still trying to decide. It's very peanutty. I think I could definitely get away with more soy sauce for one. Kind of bring up that
soy sauce though, because
yeah, it's a strong flavor.
Cloying saltiness to it.
Yeah, it's but I think with the peanuts, salt and peanuts, of course, will go together great. And I do have to take into consideration the salt that's on the pretzels. So, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I should be cautious on the soy side. I mean, it definitely could use a little more heat. And I think for more heat, I get a little bit of the sriracha. I think I might just add a little bit more of the sriracha, but not a bunch. And then maybe some red pepper or red pepper flakes.
Ah, we have a guest. I'm gonna say pudding, because if I say the first word, I think I'm gonna get tossed off SoundCloud.
Uh-oh.
We do have cooking going on. We have lots of cooking going on. Lots of lovely, rich red wine.
Oh, that was very good.
And I can smell the peanut butter size house.
No, you can't. You can't
So
smell it over
good.
the smell of the pretzels. Oh my
Oh
god.
God, pretzels.
They
Oh,
smell good together.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a little bit of cayenne. We're just gonna zhuzh it up with the cayenne, and we're gonna add a little bit of melted butter.
I'm interested to see how the butter and the soy sauce play together. I've not had a lot of success with those.
For me, it wasn't the soy sauce wasn't consideration there. I have a guilty pleasure, and when I tell people about this, they look at me all kinds of odd. I like peanut butter and butter sandwiches. I will eat a peanut butter and butter sandwich over any other sandwich out there.
I'm fine with peanut butter and butter. Just don't put honey in with the peanut butter on the spoon.
Love honey.
In a sauce like this, it's great. But I can't do just peanut butter and honey together for some reason.
I think I would like that because it would make the peanut butter less sticky, probably. Because one of the things that I don't like about peanut butter is when you end up going, like it's all stuck to the roof of your mouth and something. I definitely need something that would kind of soften it up.
Yeah, Saxrama says, same here, Si, peanut butter with lots of Kerrygold on bread.
There you go. That's
There you go. Mm-hmm.
All right. Can you guess which one didn't get the lie?
The one that's white.
Yeah.
That's significant.
That is a big difference.
Makes a huge difference.
Wow.
And yeah, you're not going to get that. What do you call it? That really, really dark pretzel color. You got to use lye if you really want that.
Super dark, but that's totally acceptable. That brown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
It actually smells like pretzel. So.
Oh, that looks so good. Oh gosh, I'm hungry.
Now, I have to cheat a little bit because I have an electric stove. So I'm going to heat this pan up as hot as it's going to go. And then the second that the ingredients hit the pan, I think I have about 30 seconds before the pan loses all its heat.
Yeah. And when these guys come out of the oven, the one thing you really want to do is you want to give them a good baste of butter. Just slather those up in butter.
Got to get the noodles ready, drained. Oh, man,
and see, that's what I thought you were going to go with. I thought you were going to go with the German like dumpling noodle thing.
Oh, well, I've done that so often the past month.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm just going to let it go, and I'm going to have to turn the fan on and open the door. Otherwise, I'm going to have the no.
You'll still have the smoke alarm go off.
Don't go off. Don't go off. Don't go off. And so windy outside today. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I love these noodles, which are nice and slippery and separated. Very nice.
And any extra butter you get on them, they'll soak it right up. They're happy to soak it up.
Now the chicken. About half the chicken.
All right. And I think we're just about there with the sauce. Still quite thick. Just add a little bit of water.
I probably should have done the chicken first. Now I'm starting to lose heat. This is when I'm going to put the sauce in. And I'm going to grab the...
That's really close to what I was looking for. Just a little more chipotle.
There we go.
And I think we're there.
Chipotle?
Yep. Nice smoky chipotle flavor. That's what's missing.
Yeah,
everything else you can taste.
You missed the pretzel making, but don't worry. This will be on YouTube immediately, and then we will sound version of the podcast as well.
Okay, cool.
It's a nice thing about Twitch. It just goes right up to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's really good. How you doing, Si?
Where'd he go?
Uh-oh.
I'm right here.
He's there.
It's so good. I'm so jealous. I want some.
Pretzels.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm like a two-fisted drinker now. I still got Bavarian beer left. I got Thai beer in the right hand.
I've done that plenty of times.
You're a two-fisted drinker.
Two-fisting it.
Okay. Let's see. Let's get this out of the way.
Oh. You can always, with this dish, you can do the noodles separately if you don't want the noodles all mixed in with everything else broken apart.
Okay.
I just happen to like them that way.
I like it all mixed together. Everyone's different, though.
And I'm real curious about how that guy tastes. I think
Well,
it's.
you could eat them.
I
Yeah,
think it's
let's see
gonna.
it.
I think it's gonna taste just like a breadstick. That's what I think.
Need some garlic on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Essentially, it's a breadstick.
Okay.
It's a good breadstick.
Well,
Nice
yeah,
and
it had
buttery.
how long to ferment?
12 hours on the countertop is quite a while. And actually, if you don't want to wait the 12 hours, just do a little bit of kneading on it, and you can go right into making your pretzels. The one thing you'll notice though is if you wait the minimum 12 hours, or you just go right into making them, it's going to make a sweeter pretzel. So it's going to give you more of an Aunt Annie's pretzel. Whereas if you wait like the 18 hours, it's going to give you more of a Wetzel's pretzel.
Okay.
Yeah, with all the malls closed, we can't get any of our good mall food. So
No, you got to make your own.
gotta make our own.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are actually going to get addicted to the way it tastes at home, and they
Yeah.
don't go to the mall anymore.
I know. We'll make our own.
Oh, that is right there. That's the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I could totally make a sandwich out of that. And it is still quite thick, but I think for dipping pretzel, that's perfectly fine.
Pile of your tape.
Almost.
Yum, 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 yum. Yum, yum, yum. We need smell-o-vision. I want to be able to smell it. Not fair.
I'm gonna steal mushroom from the sauce pot.
And with the beer, oh, that's a good pairing.
How'd the sauce go?
Primo. I like that. I would put that on a sandwich any day. I am not kidding you. Just by itself, that spicy peanut butter sandwich. There's something right there. Spicy Jif.
Spicy Jif.
Yeah. Or spicy GIF, depends on how you pronounce it. I think a spicy GIF is something different.
I'm just trying to. I should have put the chicken in the pan first. I always forget.
Oh. Sai will be napping very shortly.
dreaming of pretzels.
Oh my God, that's good.
This doesn't look like a usual Thai dish, but it does smell really amazing. It smells like wine and mushrooms in the house.
Nice. Mmm.
Yeah,
Oh.
see, I didn't go with the dinner recipe. I went with the snack recipe.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't eaten all day.
You need some food.
I'm going to be all snacked out and carved up and not going to have any
Ready to sleep.
dinner.
So here we go. You can see the cashews got a nice crust on them. The leeks are nice and soft. The noodles broke apart the way I like them. Lots and lots of mushrooms. Smells like wine, garlic, mushrooms, and yet with the stir fry, fresh flavor of a good Thai recipe.
That sounds really good.
You know what else would be good with this?
What?
Cheese whiz.
I like cheese whiz.
Cheese whiz. Heresy.
Spicy peanut butter and cheese whiz on a pretzel. I'm telling you.
We gotta learn how to make cheese whiz.
Or queso.
Or beer cheese. Beer cheese.
Oh, beer cheese, like beer cheese soup. Oh, that would be super good. Yeah. You know what? There's a restaurant here called European Street. They have like 5 locations, but it's local, and they make beer cheese soup. It's so good. And they make pretzels. Now I want to go there.
If you're American when you go into the bathroom and you're American when you come out of the bathroom, what are you while you're in the bathroom?
European.
What? Oh, European. It took me a second. European. Yeah, that's true. You are European.
See, I'm not the only one.
I'm surprised I didn't think of it first.
The producer likes the Thai recipe.
Yeah, so does my producer.
Amazing.
Okay. So you are your producer, right?
No. I don't produce.
Okay. You don't produce anything.
I've reproduced before, and that was, it was an experience I'll not soon forget.
Well, not as long as your productions are still living there.
Yeah. Man. Whew. Yeah, I'm glad you pulled back the reins on the soy sauce there with the salt on the pretzel. It's just right.
Yeah, soy sauce can get very overwhelming very quickly.
Yeah, it's a very strong flavor. And actually, I considered not going with soy sauce. Excuse me. And now I'm kind of wondering how that would have gone. I was thinking teriyaki sauce for the ginger.
Mm-hmm. I like teriyaki sauce.
Oh, I love teriyaki sauce.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it would work on so many things, but sometimes it just doesn't. I don't know why.
I bet it would work with that.
I think it might have. I think it might have worked.
Teriyaki would work with pretzels
because it's kind of sweet. Yeah, I think it would work.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I could do with that. Maybe a little sesame oil in it.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice.
That is such a lovely little sauce. I'm seriously thinking about just doing an entire thing of peanut butter up like this so I can make sandwiches out of it.
Okay.
That's so good. Spicy peanut butter sandwich. It's got a nice heat to it too. I didn't put all that much sriracha in there. I'm kind of surprised. Well, I did put the cayenne. That's right. That's what that heat's coming from. It's off the cayenne.
Oh.
I think I'd use a few less noodles in this, or I'd put the noodles separately. I really should have put the noodles separately, and I should have cooked the chicken first. But that's okay because I'm still tasting all the flavors that are supposed to be in there.
Neat. That seems so awesome.
And poor Lola, she just has to sit here and watch us both chow.
Well, I've been texting Clint what I want because we're ordering from a taco place tonight. And so
Okay.
I want
this. We are responsible for supporting the economy.
Yeah, I certainly am. And I tell you what, as soon as my $1,200 check hits, I'm going to be supporting the economy a lot more. I'm waiting. Apparently, some people have gotten theirs already.
Yeah, I have to wait until the new tool comes up. Veterans receiving disability that don't file.
Yeah.
Can use the tool on irs.gov.
Right. Okay. Okay.
But I file, so I have to wait until that tool comes up. I think it's going to be like the 15th or the 17th.
Oh, man. Another week.
And then who knows when they'll get to pay me.
I know. That's the thing. I mean, there's so many people they have to pay.
Mm-hmm. I still haven't filed.
Well, you got till what, June or July?
Yeah, they extended it.
July.
Yeah.
We filed early because, we could.
Well, it's good to file early because people do scams and they, file for you and get your money. If you get money, some people owe money.
Yeah, that is true. Mm-hmm. I like to go through H&R Block, and H&R Block here in Coos Bay did a great job.
Good.
We walked in, gave them our stuff, left. She did everything, and all we had to do was come back in and sign and pay, and that was it.
Perfect. Okay.
We didn't have to sit there for hours and hours.
I remember you used to have to sit there.
Yeah, it was very nice.
I went to the same guy I went to last year, and he's one of the accountants for Park City, the Sundance Film Festival. So I always ask him about that. He always tells me stories about the most recent Sundance. It's pretty neat.
Oh, this dish goes with German beer like nothing else I've ever tasted.
I bet.
Absolutely. Dark German beer with Thai food. Do it.
I think I've got meat sweats.
Oh, no.
Woo.
Meat sweats or carb sweats?
Might be it must be carb sweats. There's no meat in this. But it's the heat off the peppers. Those are.
Oh, yeah. That's probably it.
Man, that's really, it's really kicking in. It's like all through my mouth, the back of my tongue, down my throat, even my, I'm getting the whole experience. And that's one of the things I love to do when I'm cooking something spicy is I like to get different peppers and layer that heat experience. So you get a little in your mouth, you get a little in the back of your throat, you get a little, down in your gut, just the whole full throttle experience. And that totally does it. I don't know why. It's only got the sriracha and the cayenne in it. That's spicy. Well, no, it's got the chipotle, but that's not really spicy. It's more smoky than anything.
There are so many levels of depth and breadth of chilies.
Yeah.
And heat and spiciness.
And flavors.
That it feels like there's just like this path that I'll never be able to travel.
Yeah.
Trying them all.
Yeah, one of the most amazing beers I ever had, and I wish they'd make it again. I think it was Garage Brewing out of Temecula, maybe. Mm-hmm. They're kind of local to San Diego, but they're not in San Diego. But they made a Hatch Chili IPA. Oh my God!
I love Hatch chilies.
Yeah, it's like it's like the perfect world between like a jalapeno and a serrano, right?
Yes. Yep.
It's got a nice bitey heat to it, but it's also got a lot of flavor. And my God, that was good in an IPA. That was like the perfect beer. It really was. But they only made it like once.
Those once-off beers. Well, the producer has come begging again. So this is probably a good time to wrap it up. So I'm hungry too. I'm hungry too.
Wait, he came with a bowl and not a glass?
Yeah, well, I control the alcohol of life.
Mm-hmm.
So, Thai German food. Does it go together?
100%. Yep. Win-win.
I see lots and lots of Thai German quote unquote fusion places, but I have never seen actual fusion happen. Has anyone actually been to a place where they've actually combined Thai and German food like I did with the pretzels, or like together in a stir fry?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I can't think of any like Thai German fusion places here. There's a lot of Thai places. There's actually not a whole lot of German places, really.
Yeah, German is pretty few and far between here. It's much more prevalent in
Midwest.
in the Portland
Yeah.
than down here.
Okay.
Plenty of Thai. Well, here in Coos Bay, even in Corvallis, we didn't seem to have a whole lot of Thai.
We've got a few Thai restaurants here. There's one that Clint and I liked because it wasn't very crowded. We haven't been in a long time. But and it wasn't very expensive. I like that too. Some Thai places are like white tablecloths, sit down, $20 for a course. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, dress code.
Yeah, I don't need that. No, thank you. I just give me my Thai food. No fuss, no muss.
So Thai German fusion, would you try it, Lola?
Sure, I love them both. Give it to me now.
I can still taste the chilies, the Anaheim chilies on my tongue.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's what makes the chilies and the peanut work. Is the peanut like sticks the chili to the roof of your mouth and just allows it to linger in there for so much longer than it normally would.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I love that when the chili stays around.
And I really think that a little like hint of lime in that would really just make that go off, just pop.
Okay.
And now you've reminded me of Lola's beer.
I know, it's pretty good. It's very salty, and I've got these sores in my mouth. I won't go into detail, but I have to sip it because it's just got a lot of salt.
Would it make a good mixer?
Probably. Yeah.
With some seltzer, maybe.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I don't know if I would put straight up alcohol in it, though. Is that what you mean? Like making an alcoholic drink out of it?
I mean like a mixer, like to ease up on the saltiness.
Oh, probably. I hadn't thought about that. I've got what are those sodas that I like? La Croix. Yeah, I've got those. I might mix in La Croix and see how that does. Make it a different taste too.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
And I like anything that stretches out what I'm drinking because I'm cheap. So make 2 drinks out of it.
At this point?
Yeah.
It's gonna have to be kind of rough.
Well, there's no way I'm going to be able to stretch out the pretzels. We're down to just 2.
Aww.
3.
Wah, wah, wah.
Have your kids learned to make pretzels yet?
No, but I imagine if and when I stop making them, they will. They're pretty
They will.
doggone addictive.
Yep.
Oh my God, what happened to the pretzels? Make your own.
I know. Learn to make them.
That's good. Yeah, to learn to make your own food.
They already have like a sixth sense. Like anytime the burner gets lit on the stove, here they come. What you making? What you making?
Feed me. I'm a child. Feed me. I'm not a child anymore.
Make your own.
I know. That's so funny.
That's great. This is definitely something I think everybody should try.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a lot of knowledge of German food, at this point, I think more younger people have a knowledge of what Thai food is than
Yeah.
German food is.
Yeah.
Unless they have German relatives.
Does a hamburger count as German food?
I don't think
Or
so.
has that just been so Americanized that
It's so Americanized.
because I'm telling you that on a cheeseburger with some bacon.
You could make a fancy burger place. That would
Well,
be
there are lots of fancy burger places. Yeah, you're right.
That would be very good. Okay, y'all need a food truck. And it'll go up and down the West Coast.
Very, very good food truck. Yeah.
That would be excellent. Yeah, that'd be
BGF. BGF, very good food.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
We'd have to have like the little I don't know, tune playing as we drove down the street, kind of like the Good Humor Man, but something different.
Ice cream truck.
Oh man, all these people running after.
It's all adults.
I know.
All I have to do is just hold a beer bottle out the window.
And they have their credit cards and like,
hey, Si, look how fast I can make these guys run.
Yeah.
And if you also wanted to double and shoot the start of a zombie movie, you could use that footage too of just the people running.
Yeah.
That could be a zombie movie too.
It's a dual purpose, free actors, yeah.
Exactly. I like it. Okay.
Well, I need to get going so I can actually eat.
Yeah, go eat. I'm gonna go.
I'm pretty much done eating. I'm ready for my nap. It's nap time.
Nap time.
Go nappy food. It's time for me to order my food.
Yeah, go get some food.
Yay!
Inspire the economy. I'm not going to say sustain because we're kind of in a dive. But,
try to bring it back to life.
That's right. Try to bring it back to life.
And a good way to do that, I heard, is to buy gift cards. It's just a thought. It may not help the servers, and the staff, but at least help prop up the restaurants, the owners. So buy gift cards if you have.
Yeah, but when you if you think of it that way, though, when you go into the restaurant to use the gift card, you'll be taking care of the staff.
Well, so. I know, but I meant now. It's not helping the staff now. The staff are still out of jobs now.
Well, no, if you give an extra tip now, you'll still be helping those people that are there cooking the food, making the beer.
Yeah.
Keep spending money if you can.
If you can.
If you can.
Don't put yourself broke, but if you can do it.
Exactly. Don't make yourself broke. But, if you have a couple of extra bucks, go down to that restaurant and say, I'll take takeout or get a growler beer.
That's kind of a bit of a life hack right now too. Is I was telling you guys in chat that my local homebrew supply, they're also a Ballast Point tap room, and they're selling full kegs of beer for $49.
Neat. A lot of
that has to be their cost, pretty much.
Well, and otherwise it would just go bad because they can't have people sitting in the tap room. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, not just that. I mean, as long as they're paying to keep their lights on, and they're paying for their goods and the hours that go into making that beer, as long as they're covering all that, and they don't care if they're making a profit, they'll still be here when this is over, right?
And that's the goal, is to stay solvent right now.
Yeah,
exactly. You're paying your lease. You're good.
Yep.
Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us here on Very Good Entertainment Quarantine Kitchen. We hope we've given you a couple of really good ideas to make your next meal or your next snack or whatever that you want to cook. You don't have to do it exactly. And please do interact with us on Twitter, Very Good Entertainment. It's BGE Entertainment.
Yeah.
What's our Twitter?
BGE at
BGE. Oh my
goodness. Took us a second.
I'm so hungry. Feel free to interact with us. Give us some photos. Tell us about your favorite beer. And we will be back in a couple of weeks. Actually, we'll be back on the 18th with a regular entertainment episode. Isn't that right, Lola?
It's me. We're going to be watching a TV show.
We're going to be watching War of the Worlds, the French adaptation.
Wait,
Yep.
isn't
Well,
that the,
French and English.
isn't that the one where the virus wipes them all out?
I don't know. I haven't reached the end of it.
No, it's like an electronic pulse or something that kills
Yeah, it's
people.
not a virus. I don't think it's a virus.
No. The bad guys. It wipes out all the bad guys.
Oh, I don't
We
know.
haven't gotten to the end yet.
Never gotten
Sigh.
it.
Have you?
I'm
Oh,
only on, like,
okay.
episode
I'm sorry. I thought H.G. Wells wrote this in like something like 1934. So I'm sorry if you've not read it, but spoilers.
I don't know if they're following that or not. I thought you meant in the TV
But
show.
spoilers, in the end, all the aliens die because they didn't have any immunity against the viruses and the plagues on Earth.
I
Spoilers,
kind of
the
hope
humans
they don't go
win.
that route. Huh?
Spoilers, the humans win.
Yeah. I mean,
But
anyway,
we will see you again on the 18th for our entertainment episode, and we will do our best to figure out when our next quarantine kitchen is.
you're right. Sorry. Okay.
Oh,
All
go
right.
ahead, Lola.
No, I was saying, is it the 18th? But then I had to count. Today's the 11th. Put 7, 18th. Yep, it's 18th.
Yes.
I thought today was the 12th.
I don't know.
No, you're right. It is the 11th. You're right. You're correct.
I have the 18th on my calendar.
Is today the 18th?
No, today's not the 18th. Today
Is it April?
11th.
Yes, nobody knows. No, wait, it's April? No, I thought it was June. It's not June?
Wait, is it May? Is it time to go back to malls? Can I go to the mall and rub elbows with everybody and cough on people?
No,
Is
but
it
you
time
can make your own mall pretzels.
Make your
That
own
sounds
mall
good.
pretzels. We
That
love you
sounds good to me.
guys. We hope that you have a really great time making some food. Stay safe. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands. And have a really great beer.
Pretzels.